Hi there, it's Sarah Ransdell. I'm going to be doing my video response to Whose Hard Histories Are Often Ignored. The article I'm going to be focusing on is First Graders' Inquiry into Multicolored Stories of School Desegregation. I'm just going to go kind of page by page and talk about what I took away from it. So on the first page, I really like how they included a Venn diagram of the comparisons because it really gives you a lot of insight into the classroom and what's actually happening. So basically, for example, Terry's able to see that comparisons between, sorry, that's my cat, comparisons between herself and Mamie Tape are really similar, even though there's a lot of time in between them, and this may have happened a long time ago. Terry can relate to her in a lot of ways, and I think it just shows a story that's often ignored in the classroom, especially for Asian Americans here in America. So in the next page, what really stood out to me was the fact that the mom felt so strongly about how the curriculum is usually sending a message to children that America is built of white people, there's no other races, and if you're American and you live in the United States, you're white. And that's basically what social studies curriculum is telling these children by not showing stories who don't look like that, who aren't the dominant narrative. And so thankfully, she did share some more stories, and she urged the teacher and herself to kind of create lesson plans around different women like Alex Piper, Sylvia Mendez, Mamie Tape, so Indigenous, Mexican, and Chinese Americans who are fighting against school segregation. And so, let's see, the next page. What stood out to me was the fact that they decided to label the paragraph "The Danger of a Single Story." I think that just points out to us as an educator that you can't just use a single example with children, because if you only show one thing, that's all they're going to take away from it. It makes it seem like America isn't still struggling with those problems today. It seems like, oh, it was back in the 1900s, and oh, don't worry about this, it's Brown v. Board, that's not happening today. When in reality, a lot of people are still struggling from segregation. So yeah, I mean, and the children, they're able to understand this. Like, we usually treat them like they're so much lesser than us, they're not adults yet, so how would they understand? But they understand. I mean, they're the ones who are experiencing it and living through it. And then the last page before the end of the notes, I really like how it related it back to a human experience, and it humanized the history by showing a picture of Sylvia Mendez and her in 2019. So this is someone who's still speaking out and advocating against these types of things. Sorry, my cat. And she's able to do it in such a way that other people are able to relate to her. They can see that this is still happening, this is still a problem, and it's urging them to get out and change things and be a better educator and a better person here in America. And basically the last page is just acknowledgements, and that's it. So that's really all I have to share. I really like how on the sixth page they also show a picture of the children. It says, "How did Ruby change the story of our country?" And it shows them doing a little file graphic organizer, and they seem like they're actually really interested. And so often in history, it's very like, buy the book, here's the textbook, fill out this paper, make your timeline. This seems like a really more interactive way for children to get involved in history, and kind of open it up and let them speak on their own experiences and make connections, and personal connections at that. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. That's all my comments I have. That's it. Bye.